Good morning, everybody. It's October 24, 2023 at 12:15 a.m. And this is a hand painting, mini painting that I won on an auction. Mushrooms with Girl. It's original. The artist is Malsha Rathnayaki. This is the signature. This is the date. And this is actually from Taiwan, I believe. But anyway, it's really pretty. And I wanted to get into a response that I received from the ACLU when I lived in Manalapan, New Jersey. So I posted something about, they're trapped in a black box, growing terrorism watch listing and everyday policing, dated 2009, based upon FOIA requests of the FBI data 2005 and 2006. So one subscriber has been asking me about my contact with the ACLU. So first I want to read a letter, or I should say a flyer, that was posted by them. Now, I guess this is before they were threatened to not participate. I don't know. I'm just speculating. So here is the flyer that I have. I'm going to show you. And I'll read it. Okay. The ACLU warning: domestic terrorism. The American Civil Liberties Union, ACLU, has received reports of a serious form of illegal harassment in your community and is seeking information which can help lead to criminal prosecution of the perpetrators, as well as possible civil litigation against any government agencies which might be complicit. And this is a flyer that was generated by the ACLU, and this is going to be back in 2017, maybe 2016, but it disappeared. It's no longer on the internet. At least I couldn't find it. If you can find it, let me know. I have the flyer. If anybody wants it, email me, alternativehomesteading@gmail.com. This is Lorraine, Alternative Homesteading. Please hit the thumbs up to combat the cyber stalkers. Welcome newcomers. My name is Lorraine. I'm a targeted person. I became targeted in Manalapan, New Jersey, at a home I lived in for 30 years as original owner. And yes, the police department, which were down the block, were absolutely complicit. After your long-term neighbors move, they move in informants and agents around the target. And they really prefer to harass single people living alone, especially if you own property. But it doesn't mean that they're not going to come after you if you're renting, or even if you're living in your car. They'll still come after you if you have an RV. So I'm going to repeat this. Organized stalking, also known as gang stalking, quote unquote, is a crime in which individuals are subjected to psychological terrorism by corrupt members of law enforcement agencies, such as law enforcement intelligence units, LEIUs, the FBI, intelligence security contractors, and criminal informants. That's right, folks. The ACLU wrote this in a flyer. This flyer was distributed. It disappeared. If you can find it on the internet, let me know. Organized stalking tactics include threats, abusive comments, entering a victim's residence without a search warrant, slander, lying about the victim, interference with employment opportunities, systemic harassment using noise, sometimes from nearby residences, thefts, vandalism, and criminal invasion of the victim's privacy by methods such as unauthorized wiretapping and computer hacking. Organized stalking violates multiple laws, including the U.S. Constitution's prohibition against extrajudicial punishment, the U.S. Constitution prohibition against searches without warrants, the federal law against stalking, which is 18 U.S. Code Section 2261A, and anti-stalking laws in all 50 states and the District of Columbia. We want to hear from you. If you're aware of any suspicious activity that might be related to organized stalking, please tell us about it. You can contact the main ACLU office at the address listed at the top of this flyer, which is in New York City, or you can contact one of our local affiliates. This webpage has a list of local ACLU affiliates. Please support ACLU campaign to expose and stop illegal domestic spying. For more information, visit this webpage, https://www.aclu.org/spy-files. I haven't clicked on it to see if it's still there. Okay? This is an official ACLU notice. It is a suggestion for what the ACLU should be doing. History will not be kind to the ACLU and others who have turned their backs on the victims of serious crimes perpetrated by local and federal law enforcement and intelligence agencies. This was published by the ACLU. I'll show you the front cover. If you can find it, let me know. Anybody wants it, email me, alternativehomesteading@gmail.com, so you can see that they tried. Somebody tried to warn the public. Okay, now we're going to go into what I received from the ACLU. Okay, so I wrote to the ACLU, and they responded to me fairly quickly. It was July 26, 2018. Okay. Dear Miss Valente, I'm writing in response to your request for assistance from the American Civil Liberties Union of New Jersey. I apologize for the delay in contacting you. I regret that we are unable to respond in a timely manner due to the high volume of requests we receive. Police misconduct in New Jersey is an issue of continuing concern to the ACLU New Jersey. Over the years, we have filed a number of lawsuits in an attempt to expose and eliminate misconduct by the police, most often against municipalities, about which we receive multiple complaints. Unfortunately, however, the ACLU New Jersey is unable to assist you in this matter due to the fact that we are a privately funded, nonprofit organization with limited staff and resources that relies almost exclusively on donations from the general public for support. We must be very selective in choosing our cases. We are generally unable to provide representation to individual police misconduct cases, as these cases are very fact-intensive and expensive to litigate, and we are usually unable to find volunteer attorneys to handle them. We do occasionally take on such cases when the facts are no longer in dispute and they present a new issue of law. Even among those types of cases, we can only take a small percentage of the many meritorious complaints that we receive. We can be most effective through litigation when we find a pattern of constitutional violations in a particular institution, entity. So that would be a pattern of violations. Well, I actually provided them the pattern of violations, and they were disturbed because the ACLU actually litigated against the Manalapan Police Department and won the case, and they had to pay for pulling over a bunch of teenagers, which they do very often. And they racially profiled one of the teens, who happened to have been black, hanging out with his white friends. No big deal. It's Manalapan, New Jersey, home of the free, the brave. And everybody's interracially fine with each other. Nobody has a problem with each other. Except the police department like to single out the one kid and gave him a really hard time. Oh yeah, and that police officer, guess what? They promoted him. He's a detective now. Yeah, he actually worked on my case, the piece of crap. What a liar he is. Anyway, and I provided that information to the ACLU, and they were very alarmed and disillusioned by the fact that they won the case against this guy, and then they promoted him years later. So I needed to alert them to that fact. We can be most effective through litigation when we find a pattern of constitutional violations in a particular institution or entity, and accordingly, we have a system of recording each complaint based on the institution entity involved in the nature of the grievance. So, while we cannot help you individually, the information you have given us may help develop the facts necessary for broader legal action in the future. I hope so. Our inability to represent you does not mean that you did not suffer harm, nor does it mean we think that you were treated fairly. It simply means that we are unable to represent you at this time. Below is a list of steps you may wish to take. However, if you are facing criminal charges, you should not take any of these steps without first consulting your defense attorney. You may file a complaint with the Internal Affairs Department of the of the appropriate police department. All complaints to the police should be made in writing, and copies of the complaint should be sent to the county prosecutors and may be sent to city officials, the state attorney general, or the U.S. Department of Justice. Check, 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 check. You can put a check mark next to all of those folks. And the complaints should include as much detail as possible. The letter of complaint should include a description of the incident, the time and place of the incident, the events which took place and the order of which they happened, the names and or badge number of the police officers involved, the medical treatment, if medical treatment was required, the name of the examining doctor and or the name of the hospital or clinic attended, prints or photographs taken of any injury sustained in the incident. The letter should then detail the specific actions of the police officers that you wish to complain about and should conclude with what response you want to receive concerning the specific complaint. You can request an explanation from the police, a formal apology, disciplinary action against the officers involved, monetary damages, or if you are not sure what action you want taken, simply ask for a full and reasonable response to the complaint. Should you decide to pursue your claims in court, you should be aware that there are very strict time limits on filing certain claims against police departments and other government agencies for wrongdoing. People who wish to raise certain claims for wrongful acts of public officials or public agencies are required to give written notice of the claim within 90 days from the date of the incident. This is NJSA section 59-8-10A. The process is called filing a Tort Claims Act notice, and many towns or government agencies have notice forms that you can request to fill out and then file. If the town you want to sue does not have a form available, please read the Tort Claims Act, NJSA section 59.8-10A, to learn what information you must include in your written notice. If a tort claim notice is not filed within 90 days of the incident, you will lose your right to sue on certain claims unless you request and receive permission from the Superior Court to file notice of claim within 1 year of the incident. NJSA section 59.8-9. In addition to your rights under the Tort Claims Act, you may also have other causes of action under federal or state law for violations of your constitutional rights, such as if police use excessive force in restraining you, conducted an improper search, or discrimination against you based upon race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, or other protected classes. And I'm going to tell you folks that age, senior citizens, is a protected category. Okay? Even if you missed a time frame for filing a tort claims notice, you still have a right to bring constitutional claims or claims under the New Jersey law against discrimination within the 2-year time frame. If you wish to pursue your claims, we recommend that you contact a private attorney for help in bringing this type of suit. Unfortunately, we are unable to provide you with referrals to individual attorneys. Your county bar association can provide you with the name of local attorneys. Enclosed, please find information which we hope will be of assistance to you. Thank you for contacting us about your incident with the police. We wish you the best in resolving your difficulties. Sincerely, the Intake Department of the that's the ACLU Intake Department. I'll show you what they sent me, folks. They sent me attorney referrals. it says the ACLU is not a referral agency and cannot give specific attorney referrals. Low-income callers can resolve referrals flow. Let me see what this says here. People may also call the Bar Association lawyer referral service in the county which they reside. Criminal defendants should contact their local public defender's office. And then they gave me this information. Okay.